Hey everybody, this is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous good-looking friends. May I suggest a bottle of whiskey to pair with this video because you're definitely going to need it. So to kick off with a palate cleanser and to get everybody's blood pressure down to a low number, these are a couple photos of the Princess of Wales as well as the Prince of Wales out in Boston. I will be sort of interweaving some of these photos in between this video because at times I found myself getting really, really angry at what has been going on the last couple days. Catherine showed up to show everybody how to wear clothes. She looks phenomenal, and this is how you do the color berry, unlike some people we know, which is the hot mess topic of the day that we have to talk about because it is so in our faces. But first, I'd like to give a shout out to St. Meghan Markle community on Reddit. This community is on the ball with anything that comes up around the Harkles. I feel like St. Meghan Markle is like the after party. Like, I post a lot of stuff up there that don't make it into some of my videos, either because it didn't fit or I am building and working on a piece as it's a great source of information. Many people contribute to it, and you'll find that most of the YouTubers do go there for the up-to-date information. So check it out. I'll put the link to the actual community. Come by, say hello. Just don't cause any trouble, follow the rules, and all will be okay. So the reason why I'm bringing up this community is that the other day, literally a day ago, I posted this poll to see what people thought. I've been following this saga for the last 4 years, and you recognize certain behaviors and patterns. One of the most predictable behaviors is purposely capitalizing on the royal connection to overshadow any of the major family events that are going on, such as like what we're seeing now with the Prince and Princess of Wales coming to America and Meghan Markle putting a dark cloud with her antics onto overshadowing their trip and good work. Am I surprised that today the Netflix trailer dropped for their stupid reality show? No. It was expected, and I think Sarah Vine did an excellent job at summarizing what we all are thinking and what we're all feeling. And I'm going to read some of that, plus add some of my own commentary. And then we're going to talk about the other things that have been going on to steal the limelight, steal the focus away from the good work that the Prince and Princess of Wales are doing here in the United States. I'm glad someone in the British media is calling out, but we really need somebody from the US media to start calling it out. So please do me the favor and hit the like button so this video can be recognized more by the algorithm, and if you can share it, please do. So let me begin. So this article is really summarizing her thoughts around this trailer dropping. And for those who haven't seen it yet, really all you're missing is a slideshow. And the biggest point here is the question that's being asked: why are you deciding to do this documentary, which is really a reality show? And this is where we get into a whole lot of BS that's going to be coming our way.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Sarah Vine is challenging this docu-series, aka reality show, the same way that we are. And the title of her article says, Weapons-Grade Narcissism and a Biblical Level of Betrayal. And this is Sarah Vine from the Daily Mail. She begins the article by saying, the mournful piano music, the ghostly echoes of clicking camera shutters, Meghan clutching her moon bump, Harry with an acoustic guitar, smiling bedhead selfies, laughing, holding hands, so in love, so spontaneous, so golden, and so much like a really annoying advert for life insurance. Oh, I would say that's more like Viagra, in my opinion, but anyway. So Sarah describes this to a T, and then she goes in to say, and this is true, the mood turns dark. Meghan, hair scraped into a bun, weeping cross-legged in a white chair next to a white orchid. The sound of a flashbulb exploding, and oh, look! Here's the Princess of Wales looking thunderous, her mouth downturned, her expression hard. Next to her is the Queen Consort, also unsmiling. Pointedly behind them sits Meghan, A vision of angelic purity and white, like the orchid, get it? Oppressed and marginalized by her wicked stepmother and sister-in-law. You know, she makes a really good point here, bitch. So Sarah finishes describing the trailer.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Before I continue, look at this duper's delight. Anyhow, this is Sarah's reaction. She goes, "Sorry? What stakes? The royal stipend and the Windsor cottage instead of all those Netflix millions? But never mind. The point is, it's all ghastly, and it's all the fault of the royal family, specifically the Princess of Wales. Short of drawing a goatee and a pair of horns on Kate, they could not have painted her more clearly as the villain of the piece. And I agree with her 1000%. Meghan really smells stinky of jealousy and envy. The weapons grade narcissism of this trailer is astonishing, as in the fact that, in the true Sussex style, they have cast themselves as victims while acting as out and out aggressors. Yep. This, of course, is the trademark tactic and has been since the Oprah Winfrey interview. But this new bombshell is next level stuff. Nah, Meghan is the next level lunatic, as I keep saying. And this is something that, honestly, it really is astonishing to see how she's been able to get away with so much just because she's wealthy and part of the royal family. If she was just an ordinary person or, you know, like one of us, she would be locked in a hospital right now. There's nothing normal about any of this. For the past few years, there's always been a sense that the only thing stopping Harry and Meghan from going full Tonto was the presence of the prince's grandmother. But with her late majesty out of the way, nothing and no one now can stand between them and their apparent mission to destroy the royal family, and particularly William and Kate. I agree with her 100%. I have said in the past and have shown you the people that Meghan has been aligning with for the last few years are in favor of abolishing the monarchy. In fact, she's paying people who support that movement. So I don't find it as any kind of surprise, but I think more and more people are recognizing it. It's just we have a lot of convincing still to do here in the United States. So Sarah continues to say, it's a declaration of war and it cannot be ignored. How else do you explain the timing of this trailer release? Barely a day after the Prince and Princess of Wales touched down in America on a royal tour. And this is exactly where I'm going with this video. Everything has been calculated by Meghan Markle. She has had a history of doing this, and this is no different. American audiences who are less familiar with Kate will instinctively side with Meghan as she balls her way through this trailer, implying at every turn where the source of her unhappiness lies. And I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think there is a disconnect on understanding really how the Americans feel. The only thing that is taken is the temperature of Twitter. And when you see on Twitter all the sugars and the inflation of their reputation, is why I think there is this perception that Americans really side with her. I don't think the regular people, if you ask them, a majority of people will probably say they can't stand her. And to take a quick break from the negativity of this woman, how could you be against Catherine when you look at this video from today in Boston? Nah, I think Catherine's popularity has skyrocketed here in the US. You'll see, all the magazines by the end of this week will have all her outfits laid out, and you're going to have women trying to emulate her style. Catherine's coming out strong, and Meghan just looks like a fool. So to finish off this article, and I think Sarah summarizes it perfectly, she says, not only is the trailer vomit inducing, it is saccharine one sidedness. It's also terribly sad. For however much William might have wanted in the past to give his brother the benefit of the doubt, or even, as we have seen on several occasions, extend an olive branch, shit, even the whole tree's like dead now. This all-out attack on his wife surely leaves him with no choice. I agree 100% with Sarah on this one. Yeah, if this woman could attack a child, surely William has no choice but to protect his family. Heartbreaking, given how close they once were, and heartbreaking for Kate, who was fond of Harry before he became an angry, embittered exile. It's a level of betrayal that is truly biblical. And it's hard to see how the repercussions of the Sussex's attack can be anything less than devastating. As for King Charles, this will be the first real test of his reign. His reaction, many will suggest he stripped the Sussexes of their titles, will be crucial. One thing, though, is indisputable. There is no crueler or harder task for a parent than to have to choose between their children. I don't think the titles matter anymore, to be honest. If Charles strips them of the title, Meghan's going to do whatever she wants to do. And if she wants to use it, then she will. Or, people will call her that anyway. I think it's too late for that. What I do think will stop this woman is, again, I said it last year, the only way that this is going to stop is if she runs out of money. When you don't have money and you don't have a pot to piss in, then you can't really hang with the A crowd, and no PR company is going to represent you if you can't pay them. I think the challenge we have here now is that if they do take the titles away, then she's going to continue to keep on going in this country in the sense of trying to really destroy the monarchy through our political landscape, which is even worse because if Harry continues to stay with this woman and his family disowns him, he could possibly become an American citizen. And then now you have two people here in this country who are trying to insert themselves in places where they shouldn't be, interfering with our constitutional rights. As is, they have been making moves within certain circles to censor the internet and control free speech. So I don't think this is a good idea. What I do think might be the best idea is the family pays her off and she signs something to be quiet for the next 200 years. We're not going to talk about this woman Fugazi. So this woman Fugazi Filoni Baloney, this story does not have weight, and I'm going to show you why. Just because she's black doesn't mean that she's not equally guilty of stirring some shit, because that's exactly what she did.
Beeline for me, and she took my locks in there and moved it out of the way so she could see my name badge, and that's a no-no. I mean, I wouldn't put my hand in someone's hair, and culturally as well, it's not appropriate.
When Lady Susan Hussey did that, allegedly, because there's no evidence that she did, only your side of the story, why didn't she tell her, excuse me, ma'am, please do not touch my hair. I really do not appreciate being questioned in this manner, and put her in her place? But no, she didn't. You mean to tell me that a woman like this, who's going on TV, who's speaking up and doing interviews left and right, couldn't open her mouth to an 83-year-old woman? Nah, son, get out of here.
And then the questioning started. I mean, I really can't explain how.
Body language guy, where you at? You need to look at this woman. This woman's lying through her teeth. She can't even look at the interviewer straight to give this answer. This did not go down the way that she's saying.
It was a long process, and it was so gradual. It took me a little while to realise this is not just you know, where are you from? Because so many agencies are there, I said, sister space. Well, where are you from? Well, we're based in Hackney. No, where are you from? No, where are you really from? Hackney. No, where are you from? No, where are you from?
Why is nobody questioning the fact that maybe she gave Lady Susan Hussey attitude when she first asked her, where are you from? And she said, sister space or, you know, Great Britain, and probably looked at Lady Susan Hussey because she's white and said, wow, I don't have to answer to this woman. There's no doubt in my mind that this woman was looking to start something, because if this really was an issue and wanted this rectified, she would have handled it on the spot, not go to social media the next day and blow this up. There was a motivation behind that. And whether it went down the way that it went down, this woman saw this opportunity to damage the monarchy in solidarity to help Meghan Markle. She has had a history of denouncing the British monarchy in support of Meghan Markle. Not only is she aligned and knows Misan Harriman, she's also aligned with the Sussex squad. So when she made her initial tweet, guess what? That set off a trigger for the rest of the squaddies to then now create this echo chamber to bubble this up so it could get the recognition that Meghan desired and cast a shadow over Kate and William's trip. This was orchestrated, no doubt. I think the palace should figure out a way to help Lady Susan Hussey tell her side of the story, because we're only hearing one side. And it's just so suspect that somebody was able to transcribe the conversation verbatim without it being recorded. That I find highly suspect. There definitely was an intent there, as you can see. Here is the socioviz that I ran on Sista Space Twitter account, which is Fugazi's user handle. I ran her engagement for the full week, and on the day that the tweet was pushed, I believe that was the 29th or 30th, that's when we saw the activities. And as you can see here, you can see the surge in it being tweeted out and then it being retweeted. The first red flag of this is that the entire week she had been tweeting, but nobody had been retweeting or seeing this type of reach before. As you can see, it's there charted right there. So that's one red flag. Now let's take a look at who are the people that had been retweeting this and who had been in the network. So what you're looking at now is the 100 most influential people who had been involved with this account and retweeting this information on that day. Keep in mind, no other day had this kind of activity on this account. So what you're going to notice when I drag this around, and some that are familiar with the Psycho Squad, you'll notice some names on there that are chief lieutenants who are actually getting paid by Meghan Markle to push her propaganda. So Booked Busy is one of those chief lieutenants that Meghan pays and rallies and riles up the other squaddies to get them in line to execute whatever it is that Meghan's trying to push out. And you'll see that user Sanajay, JE26, that's also another one of those shitster Sussex accounts that goes off and, retweets or, pretty much attacks and says a lot of nasty things. But as you can see how connected they all are. And then when you look deeper into another layer and take a look at the active users, which are the ones that retweet every second, traditionally they're bots, you'll see now let's take a look at the most active 100 users within this tweet set. It looks a lot different, right? What you'll notice is that the main big dots like Jazz Mom 12. They are accounts that do defend the Duchess. It looks a lot different, right? What you'll notice is that the main big dots, like Jazz Mom 12, they are accounts that do defend the Duchess. And what you'll see here is Misan Harriman right there connected to this web of Jazz Mom 12. Now let's take a look at Jazz Mom 12. As you can see here, the activity is pretty high. And if you look at the top hashtags that are being used within the tweets, you can see that it is very much focused on pushing Meghan Markle. And as you can see here, the activity is pretty high. And if you look at the top hashtags that are being used within the tweets, you can see that it is very much focused on pushing Meghan Markle and anything Meghan Markle or anything that is dealing with the monarchy. So within this window or time frame, we're going to see what users were in the network, and we're going to see exactly what words and what exactly they're trying to push out to get this narrative to stick. So now let's take a look at the users. I want you to see how neat this circle looks. This is an indicator that there are specific tweets that when they go out, they do trigger off certain accounts in certain sections, and then they go ahead and then branch that out. As you can see, Jazz Mom, you go straight up there. You've got Sussex Princess. You have a whole cluster there. Then you have another cluster where it's got Archwell Baby. Then you have another cluster where there's Nadine Wrights and Duchess of Palms. But then there's an interesting name in the cluster that's not on the outskirts of that circle, but within the inner circle. As you can see, where it says Royal Suitor, which some say is this woman, Beth. There is it Royal? No, that's Pagan Trollware. Sorry. Royal Suitor, though, is one of the other lieutenants, a main lieutenant paid Sussex squatty. Right in the mix with Pete Buttigieg. You think about that one. Now I'm going to show you something else in a second. So now we're going to switch this up and now look at the active 100. Keep in mind, this is in Jazz 12 or Jazz Hands 12 network, okay? What struck me as I was looking at this, not so much the connections to some of the bots and then the usual suspects, but the unusual suspects. And one that really caught my attention was Hillary Clinton. So I'm not an expert on this tool, so I am reading it just as best as I can. But what I'm finding here is highly suspicious, and that raises concern. For those that want to dig further into this, the tool is called SocioViz. You can get a free trial. It's not that hard to read, but it does take some time. All I can say is that, yes, this was coordinated. And when you think about all the other things that has happened over the last couple days, not only this, but also the leaked photo of Meghan having a Zoom call with somebody who is trying to write a book about the racism in the monarchy, you've got to put two and two together. And let's not forget that they are coming to New York to accept an award for structural racism. And it is a Democratic sponsored event. So somebody, please tell me that you're seeing the same thing that I'm seeing and understanding what's going on with what Meghan is doing. I think it needs to stop. And I think that the palace and I think more people in the United States need to take this seriously. So at the same time today, I ran Scobie's report. I'm not going to go through it on this video because there's a lot of stuff in there that should be raising red flags all over the place. How he's a royal reporter is beyond me. If you just look at his tags alone, what does that tell you? Someone who's actively retweeting and promoting abolish the monarchy, saying the monarchy's racist. Why is he considered a royal reporter? I'm just asking. That is a whole nother topic for a different day. But for now, we need to brace because tomorrow is the big day, and I just have this feeling something else is going to come up, whether Meghan's going to announce she's pregnant or she had another miscarriage, or we're going to see a photo of the child or a child. Who knows? But expect that this is what this attention clout chasing woman is going to do to try and overshadow because she is so petty and so jealous. And I do feel sad for her. No, I don't. I really don't. I think she's just a cancer to society. And honestly, I just don't know what else to say except please share this video, keep talking about it. She's exhausting, but I'm more invigorated to continue calling her out because this is absolute madness. But what do you guys think? Leave your comments below. You know where I'll be. Back with you guys again tomorrow. Until then, be safe, and I will see you soon. Bye.
I was such a fraud.